For over 25 years, Bull has been one of the only companies dedicated to the manufacturing of everything from grills and components to outdoor kitchens and cabinets. In fact, we have the largest selection of outdoor kitchen components in the industry, which now includes pizza ovens and our new commercial-style griddle. Our prices easily compete with those of our competitors. Plus, Bull Outdoor Products offers lifetime warranties on our grill fireboxes, cooking grates, and premium cast stainless steel burners. Let us be your one-stop shop.
Why do we cook? We cook for food, for family, and for friends. We cook to bring people together.
Honey, that looks good. Pardon my fork.
Oliver, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm very fine. It's great days, great times. I feel very good.
That's what I like to hear. And you have to be feeling pretty good because you are the 2018 World Food Champion in the barbecue category.
Yeah, this was a really great days. We didn't expect that, and it was amazing. It was really amazing.
That had to have come as a surprise for you, but kind of not really, because you are actually quite an accomplished barbecue competitor.
Yeah, we do a lot of maybe 10 to 15 competitions a year, and we are the WBQA World Champion in Ireland last 2017, and that was great. But to win a competition in the USA was amazing. It was really great. We didn't expect that. We know in Europe we are quite good, but it's very difficult for us to find the right taste for the American judges.
That is so true, because American barbecue is kind of a style all its own, and I completely understand how you'd be feeling that way coming here. And you won't be surprised to know that most people there were surprised to see a German team at the top. But when you go and you look at the resume that you guys have, how much you've done and how accomplished you've been, it really then doesn't come as quite such a surprise to me, because I don't know. You guys have been around for so long. Let's break down your competition history just a little bit here. When did you first start doing barbecue competition or any kind of cooking competition?
In 2013, we made our first competition. It was a really small competition with only 6 teams in a small town on a supermarket place, and it was funny, and it was not easy, but it was more cooking than barbecue. And then we made 3 or 4 in the first year competitions. And 2014 we made our first KCBS competition, the Tony Stone competition in the Netherlands. And after that we made 10 KCBS competitions in Europe a year. And then we get invited for the Jack Daniel's BBQ Championship, and that was really amazing for us. And in the same year, we take part the first time at the World Food Championship. After that, we made the American Royal 3 times in a row, 2 times as an invite, and this year also as an invite team. And we take part 3 times as a Jack Daniel's BBQ Championship, and last year the 4th times for the World Food Championship, and we won. That was great. We do some competitions in Europe, and the greatest, the biggest in Europe is Ruhrpott Barbecue. We won last year. That was also great. Now we're very proud to be in the final 10 from the World Food Championship.
Honestly, that is just stunning. It catches me off guard how much you guys have done in the U.S., really, truly, because you don't think about, of course, this is an international competition, but man, you guys have been traveling a lot back and forth to the U.S. I had no idea.
Yeah, we travel a lot, and we like it. We like the USA. We like to be in the USA. We like your cars. We like the people. We like the competition. We like your barbecue. It's always funny to be in the USA. It's very great times for us to be in the USA. Really great for us.
I'm glad to hear that, man. And actually, I'm quite a big proponent of German beers, and I always have to ask whenever I'm talking to somebody from Europe, how are you finding American beers?
It's like water but thinner. The German beer is very good, of course. But when we are in the USA, I always drinking Yuengling. Is it right? Yeah, Yuengling, yeah, the oldest brewery in the USA. That's a good beer. I like that.
I am going to have to bring you something from Oregon because our beers here, I have guys from the UK that seriously will just say to me, like, what are you guys doing? Are you trying to kill me? Why is this beer so big?
It's a great product, and we love to drinking beer, and we love to make beer. It's like water for us. We drink beer all the day.
That's right. Yeah, you're a barbecuer in that right, for sure. You can't really have a good barbecue without that cold beer in your hand too.
That's right, yeah.
So when you guys are over cooking at home, what type of smoker do you typically use?
Normally at home I use a water smoker from Weber, the Smoky Mountain, but most I like to smoke on the Kamado Joe, on the Big Joe.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Yes, the big ceramic ones.
Yeah, the Big Joe is a really great ceramic grill.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you there. I have one of the small ones, a personal one. I think it's called the Acorn Junior, and I love that thing. It is great for long smokes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday I made a brisket in about 7 hours. It was great.
Oh, yes, the hot and fast method. Absolutely.
Yes.
Is that the method that you typically use when you do your barbecue?
It's a type of from me at home, but normally when we are in a competition we do low and slow, and sometimes hot and fast. It's about the meat and about the cookers we get.
Yes. Do you feel like it changes from brisket to brisket, or do you go more just you have your standard way of doing brisket and then you have your standard way of doing ribs?
It's all about the brisket. If we in a competition we get the brisket from them, we normally use low and slow. But we are in the USA, we get Snake River Farms briskets. They are great. We do hot and fast because the meat is perfect for that.
Oh, interesting. That's very fascinating. I think my listeners are going to have a lot of fun hearing that and being able to hear someone at your top level making that distinction between the brands.
Yeah, when we get in it's a German championship in barbecue. We get a brisket that it's not the same quality as a Snake River Farm or Creekstone Farms or something like that. And that is not good for hot and fast. So we take low and slow because we have more time to get it on the right way.
Mm-hmm. Does it come down to the fat content, or is it the way it trims?
The German cows are not like the USA cows. The meat is very good in the USA and very hard to find in Germany.
I see. That actually kind of makes sense. It's a bit unfortunate, but it sure hasn't seemed to hold you back at all when you come over here to compete.
No, when we make KCVS competitions in Europe, I try to get a Creekstone Farms brisket because the company for I'm working for is a meat company. Sometimes we get Creekstone Farm brisket, and then is that what we ordered. But sometimes we get it from the organizer, and so we have to use what they give us, and that is normally not as quite good as your briskets.
Oh, I see. You know what? That kind of makes sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You like to use water smokers, and you like to use your Kamado Joe. And then when you guys come over here, That is one thing that I noticed. They had an old hickory smoker set up, but you chose to use the Weber water smoker instead.
Yes, that is right. We know them. We know how to cook on them, and we don't want to change our method because we don't know the old hickories. They work very well, of course, but we don't use them. We have never used them, so we don't know what to do on this thing.
Yes, no, that makes total sense to me. Is someone supplying you with those water smokers when you come to the U.S. to compete? Do you have somewhere where you store them, or is the competition able to provide it to you?
Yes, we have some stores, some store over you in the USA. Wayne Lohman from the KCBS is watching over them, and the KCBS in Kansas City have 3 in their store, in the storage for us.
Oh, very good.
So we can get them when we come over.
That is fantastic. I was wondering when I met you guys at the WFC, I was kind of wondering how that all worked out, because I saw you with the 2 water smokers and I was thinking, how did they fly over with those? What do you tend to fly over with? Do you bring like your knives and just a few other things?
Yes, we use our knives from home and some ingredients like spices and injections, and most of the things we buy in the USA and get it to the hotel. We order them from here and get it in the hotel, and when we come over, we have it instantly then when we need it.
I see. Okay. Now, before I get ahead of myself, do you use rubs or do you use sauces, or probably a mixture of both, yes?
Yeah, we both. Also, we inject our meat and we rub our meat, and after that it gets sauce on it. Yes.
What do you use for your injection?
Oh, we have American injections. I can't tell that, of course, but we have original American injections. They work very well for us.
Very good. I was trying to help my American brothers out, but you're too quick for me. So let me ask you, because I get this question a lot when it comes to brisket, when it comes to ribs, the smoking, how long you smoke. We talked about that, a hot and fast versus a low and slow. But a lot of people ask, do you wrap it? Do you not wrap it? And what do you use to wrap it? Do you wrap your meats, or do you let them smoke the entire time?
No, we wrap our meat with aluminum foil, of course, the normal way. Texas cheek, I think. That is what we need. Aluminum foil.
Do you do it at a set time during the cook?
We do it when the brisket looks good, the ribs looks good, then we wrap it in foil.
Does it then go back on the smoker to cook a little longer wrapped, or does it rest?
No, we cook it on the smoker a long time with wrap. The wrapped.
Okay, yeah. And then I'm just going to assume, like with your ribs, for example, tell me yes or no here, but your method, I'm going to assume you take the ribs and you put the meat side down in the foil, and maybe there's a little bit of butter and possibly some more of your rub in there.
Yeah, something like that. Not exactly our rub or butter, but for example, honey is in our foil. We make the ribs. We like the sweetness.
That is a great way to go. Honey on your ribs. That is fantastic.
Yeah, we like it, and the American people like it too, I think.
And these are just things that you've developed over the years in barbecue competition, right?
Yes, that's right. It's a long time for us to find this way because barbecue in the American way is not for a long time in Germany. We have to learn a lot, and we make a lot of wrong things in this way. But no, we're on the good way, I think.
That's right. Yes. You've definitely gotten it down to something that's very accurate and very close to what our palates find, obviously. And one thing that I found very interesting is you don't have, You have a long history of doing these barbecue competitions, but you originally start out as a carpenter, correct?
Yes, that's right. I'm not a chef. I'm a carpenter, and but now I'm working for a meat company, and I make YouTube videos like that, or recipes for the blog. But in 2017, I worked as a carpenter at a theater in Bochum, in my hometown. Carpenter is a nice job. I loved it. But cooking and make barbecue with friends is even better.
Yes, 100% agree with you, my friend. Did you grow up with cooking at all? Was barbecue a part of your life beforehand at all, or is it something that you've just found a love for as you've lived?
Yeah, barbecue is coming in my life in about 2012. Before that, I only grilling without a lid on the grill, and sausages and pork chops, something like that. But no brisket. I don't know what is a brisket in 2013. Never eat it. I don't know what it is. But now I know what it is and I can cook it.
That is a big transformation to make in 6 years. In 6 years, you've gone from not knowing what a brisket was to being the world barbecue champion.
Yeah, we didn't expect that, but it works good for us. We know what we do, and we learned a lot. And we are looking what do other guys do, what's their way to cook, and we try and we try and we try, and it's good. Today it's very good.
That is incredible. I really am surprised by that. Growing up, did you find yourself cooking at all? Were you growing up in a household where a lot of cooking happened?
Yeah, my mom is cooking every day, of course. And when I get my own flat, with my girlfriend, we cook every day, and we travel a lot around in Europe and look what is cooking in Italy, what is cooking in Spain or in Portugal, in Portuguese or something like that, or in Greece. And we take it with home and try it at home. And so we learned a lot about cooking, and later we learned a lot about barbecue.
I love that. I love that you were able to develop your cooking skills. I am a home cook as well. My wife and I cook a lot at home, and it's not just out of necessity. It's now something fun that we do. And I like hearing that you've always just been a person that likes to cook their own food.
Yeah, I love cooking. Look, cooking is really, really great for me. It's clean my mind, and it's stressless. It's really great. People love to be good cooked and have good food. Everybody loves it, and I love to cook it, and I love to eat it, of course.
Yes, sir. What are some of your favorite things to cook outside of barbecue?
I love sushi. Sushi is very great.
Yeah,
it's a very different way to cook, of course, and I like to cook fish. Fish is great, and pasta. I love pasta. Italian pasta is very great. It's easy to make and really delicious and healthy. Maybe if you make a good ragu or sauce, it was great. It's great.
Now, here's my question. Have you ever taken any of those recipes and tried doing them on the grill or the smoker?
Yeah, I like sushi with duck breast on it, and smoke the duck breast and slice it up and get on the rice, and I love that. It's really great. It's great sushi. Not with fish, but even quite good.
Yes, 100% agree with you. That's because I love taking things that people would normally not think of putting on a grill or a smoker and trying to infuse it a little bit. Do you know what deviled eggs are?
Yes, I know what deviled eggs are. Yeah. Yes, I didn't make that, but I know what it is.
So recently, my wife and I started smoking the egg yolks before we make the deviled egg filling, and it is incredible. I
think so, yes.
Yes.
I will try it maybe next time.
You need to try it at some point. And we have ducks. We raise ducks here. And doing it with duck eggs is by far and away my favorite thing. It really only takes about 10 or 15 minutes for those egg yolks to be on the smoker and pick that flavor up. They just absorb it really quickly.
Yeah, great tip. I will try it.
All right, so let's roll back to the WFC here a little bit, because you are no stranger to the U.S. You've been there a bunch of times. How did you get your golden ticket into the World Food Championships, though?
It's for the first time, or what do you mean?
Yeah, for the first time, and then this time too.
For the first time, we get an invite from Wayne Lohman. I don't know if you know him, and he asked us if we want to take part. He needed a German team, and we said yes, it's okay. We're in the States, so we can do it. And after that, we are the best international team, I think, every time when we take part. And so we get an invite every time. But we, of course, we pay the $300 or what it is.
Oh, yes, everybody has to.
To get in, yes, of course, yes. But no, we won the barbecue competition. I think the next time is free for us, I think, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, since you were the champion, I believe you get 5 years of entries.
5 years, okay. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really good news. And honestly, I can't wait to see what you guys are able to do at the final table. So do you know yet what you'll be cooking at the final table?
Yeah, we know what we have to cook. Also, I think the first round is Eggs Benedict, I think.
Oh, okay. Do you know what the second round is?
It's I don't know it. No, in the moment, I don't know.
No problem.
I have to look at the email. I have to look at the email, but yeah, we have to taste it in the restaurant, and we have to taste the food. How is the taste, and then we try to get it exactly like that.
Yes, sir. And I'm sure you've been working on your recipes. Are you going to continue to work on them, all the way up until you leave? Are you worried about it at all? Do you feel like you're able to recreate the recipes accurately?
I think it's not a problem for us to make a good dish. The very difficult for us is to make the right taste for the judges, because we don't know what the judges normally eat. The German taste is not like the USA taste. That's very difficult for us. I think the cooking is no problem. The taste is a problem for us.
I see. I completely understand why you would feel that way. I do think, though, that if you were able to bring some of the Germanic flair and some of the flavors from, where you come from, that really will lend itself well to what you're doing. I could see the judges liking it very much if, while you're talking about your dish, you're explaining this is something that I enjoy, in Germany, because we all love to see the international flair when you're doing these international competitions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which we try to make it on our own way, of course, and it will be great for us, of course, and that's the most important things for us. It has to be like that. What we want, and then we hope the judges like it too.
Yes, that's always important. Yes, most definitely. Well, hey, Oliver, you've been very generous with your time. I do appreciate you calling, and I really enjoyed talking to you. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be there in New Orleans when you guys are there, but I will be in Dallas this coming year, and I hope to see you there.
Yeah, thank you for the call. I hope my English is understandable, and hope to see you in Dallas.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Red Gold Tomatoes are a proud sponsor of the World Food Championships. What we do isn't about canned tomatoes, it's about family. It's about putting a delicious, healthy meal in front of them every day and seeing the smiles on their faces. Our tomatoes are all about family too. Red Gold tomatoes. The World Food Championships invite you to visit your local Walmart today. Check out their ever-expanding selection of the highest quality ingredients for your family and friends. Save money, live better with Walmart. And we are back. You just heard from Oliver Sievers, the World BBQ Champion from Germany. Fun fact for you guys, that was his very first interview he's ever done in English. And very impressed with that guy. I mean, seriously, knows his stuff. He's been doing a lot of barbecuing. They've traveled all over Europe. They've won all kinds of stuff. It really was shocking to hear about all that stuff. And Darie, I know you've already caught it. We've got Darie O'Connor on the phone from Foodie Group, Try This Dish Radio. Make sure you're going and checking her out. Try This Dish Radio on the Spoonie Radio Network, as well as the Facebook. Foodie Group is at Food E Group on Facebook as well. Darie, how are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous, Andy. Thanks for having me on today so we can chat about the final table and what's going on. And yeah, Food E Group, Food E. Now, I knew that would confuse people because when I was trying to come up with a name and I was looking for a play on the word food group, I looked up food with the E, and I don't even know why this really came up to me, but when I looked up the definition of it, one of the definitions of food with the E on the end is a nude food picture. And I don't mean as in you're naked holding food. It's like what everybody does. They take pictures of food. That's what food with the E means. So food group. Look at me. I'm not that blonde, but well, mainly I am. But anyway, yeah. So that's where I came up with that. And that's my consulting group. And when I say group, that means me, myself, and I. Is that three? Yeah, that's three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's three.
That's three right now, anyway.
Two is a partnership. Three is a group. Yeah.
That's right. That's it. So we're excited about this series that we're doing for the Final Table Radio Media Blitz for WFC 2018 with the 10 category champs. We about got it knocked out now. We're down to the last two, and then the final table is the 17th and 18th, I believe, in New Orleans this year.
Yeah, 18th and 19th, something like that.
18th and 19th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at my calendar, yeah. It's 18th and 19th, correct. So, and the last challenge, there's going to be 3 challenges. The last challenge is actually when it's down to 3 competitors, and we'll get more into that in a minute. And that will be private because they're filming it for a TV show. We don't know which one yet, you guys, but we'll let you know when we find out. Super stoked about that.
It is going out. That's the important part. And speaking of going out, by the way, Try This Dish Radio recently teamed up with Spoonie. You guys have been doing some live streams over there.
We sure do. Patrick Mosier with the Food Biz Pro at Spoonie. That airs every day, well, Monday through Friday. He's live from 1 to 3 Central Standard Time. And he put us into the Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesdays. And he's replaying the show Sunday, Mondays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, same time. So, yeah, so we have teamed up with them. And it's just a great setup. We get to go live. And then it's also streamed via iHeart. And then, well, I know Patrick's is on Spreaker too. So, but Try This Dish will also go out through Radio Public, through that awesome company. Which one is that one?
Oh, you mean the Thomas Creek Digital Media?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Being produced by Sean, but then pushed out by Thomas Creek Digital Media, I believe. Yes.
Yes, that would be you, I think. We're so funny.
Hey, I do what I can. That's all we can do, right?
Hey, you got 2 people over there too, or what?
Well, I always have my cat. I got my cat in the studio at all times, so.
Oh, meow.
That's right.
Let me talk a little bit, you guys, about the final table. Now, the top 10 category winners were crowned last November in Orange Beach, Alabama. And because the event is in Dallas this year, so if you want more information on the World Food Championships, head over to worldfoodchampionships.com or find them on Facebook. The event is in October. They're looking for volunteers, always looking for sponsors. If you have a product you want to exhibit, They have a demo area and an exhibition where you can, and a sampling, the tasting village. It's really going to be huge this year. Lots of fun stuff. It's going to be at the Reunion Tower. See, I can't remember the dates because they moved it, but it's in October. Just go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, let me come out of the rabbit hole. The 10 champs from last year. Everything used to be done at one event, but they started bookending it last year. And now each year the final table is bookended, and it'll be in a special destination city where they have to cook the cuisine of the area. So this year in New Orleans, we can only guess what it might be. Andy, what do you think? It's in New Orleans.
Oh, gosh. Let's see here.
I don't know.
It's probably going to be Cajun, Creole, a little more Cajun.
Yeehaw.
Might be a little shrimp in there, maybe some crawfish.
Yes. And what's really neat too this year, which is very unique and different, is each category person is not going to cook in their category, right? So this adds a whole nother level, as I say,
right,
of expertise to, and the level that these category champs have to perform. So the first challenge will be with all 10, and it's basically Eggs Benedict. And let me say real quick that the event's going to be held at Nochi, which is a culinary center and school, and they have classes for the public, and they do culinary certifications in New Orleans. It's called Nochi, Nochi.
Mm-hmm.
Guys can find them on Facebook. Looks like a really neat venue.
Oh, it's beautiful. Have you seen the photos of that place?
Yes, it's amazing.
The Culinary and Hospitality Institute.
Oh, I am getting to go. Let me brag a little bit. Brag.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I know. I can't wait. Last minute thing. So anyway, challenge 1 is all 10, and they have to make Eggs Benedict. I mean, come on. That's not an easy dish. Let's think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So even the dessert person has to make Eggs Benedict. The steak person, right? So
I feel like when you're cooking at this level of competition, because these are some of the best cooks in the world, whether they're chefs, home cooks, or whatever, I mean, they have really made the grade. And it wasn't with any chefy tricks, as we've talked about a few times over on my show, but it was just strictly food that looked good and tasted good. That is all they were judged on. Did it look good? Did it taste good? And that's what it was judged on. And by that metric, these are some of the best cooks on the planet. And when you reach that level, I would argue that you should be able to take just about anything that is put in front of you and cook an incredible dish. I don't think there are going to be any real losers, so to speak, air quotes, losers in this whole batch. I don't think any of the judges are going to eat something and go, that was very mediocre. I think everything is going to start at an 11 and just go up from there.
Right. And they also do all know what they're having to create. And they've had a little time to prepare, which I think is only fair with the way that they're having to. It's not like surprise ingredients, which I think is still good because it gives everyone a chance to prepare. Mm-hmm. Now the eggs are going to be supplied by Nest Fresh Eggs. They are sponsors of that first challenge. Now after the first challenge, 5 will go on to challenge 2. Now I'm probably going to say this wrong. Patrick was helping me the other day because he knows like French and Chinese and like everything. Okay. Mm-hmm. So those 5 competitions have to prepare tableaux, which is a restaurant in New Orleans, the Redfish Bonville. I don't even know if I said that right. I can't remember. Bonville. Have you ever heard of that? Bienville. Don't laugh at me, all you chefs. I know where you are. And that is, they have to replicate that dish. And that challenge is going to be judged by restaurateur Dickie Brennan and his executive chef, John Martin. Pretty cool. So that's round 2. And that happens. Round 1 is Saturday, and I believe 2 and 3 are going to be on Sunday because by the time they get to the third one, it'll be a closed door event. And that one is the one where they're going to create, that's only 3 go to that one. They're creating an appetizer for Antoine's, and whichever one wins the actual final table with the grand champion, that recipe will be placed on their menu which hasn't changed in 100 years. Pretty cool.
Crazy. Absolutely nuts.
Crazy. So that's the final table, kind of in a nutshell. And I get to go and do some interviewing before and after. And we'll have just stay tuned for those. We'll see how that comes about.
I am extraordinarily jealous for that, by the way.
Well, I've been, I wasn't really sure last year. I did get to go to the final table. It was in Bentonville, Arkansas, and it was kind of more of an open event. It was a lot of fun. It was at a cooking academy there too. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but no, it was a good time. So I'm looking forward to it and meeting some of these, because I don't know all of these champs this year. So I always look forward to meeting them.
Yeah, same here. I have not had the opportunity to meet a lot of these folks, but I am looking forward to meeting them in Dallas this year for the World Food Championships 2019.
Like I said, if you're going to be in the Dallas area and you want to volunteer, you get lots of food and it's a lot of fun. So they'll be looking for volunteers here starting pretty soon to line up the brigade of volunteers, because they do so much with this event. As you know, you probably saw last year when you were there.
Oh, yeah. They were talking to me about being a cheferie this year, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing it doing media and being a sous chef. We're actually not just sous chefing for Suzanne this year. We're sous chefing for someone else as well. So,
ooh,
yeah, it's going to be a busy WFC for us, a real busy WFC. I honestly can't wait to bring that to the Pardon My Fork listeners, because last year it was huge. We didn't really know exactly what was going on last year. So we tried to just kind of absorb as much of it as we could. But this year, man, we are going back with a game plan. And I'm sure you've got your game plan lined up for the final table, right?
No, not at all.
You're going to show up and wing it?
I'm real good at winging it, but I'm kind of waiting for the rest of our shows to go out, and then I will be in touch with Mike McLeod and see kind of but basically he said I could do pre and post interviews. Of course, nothing with the third area, the last three, but so yeah, I just go and interview and talk to them about what they're doing. If possible, I would like to go Facebook Live. So that would be a really cool idea right there, so we can share some of the action with everybody else. But I'm not really sure about the rest of the media that's going to be there. So stay tuned. We'll give you more information over the next 2 weeks on Try This Dish, which is at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Spoonie. Go check out Spoonie. They're on Facebook as well, and iHeart and Spreaker.
Yep. We love Spoonie. We're up on their network as well. And it's always a good time over there. I got to be honest, though, pretty much anything that has to do with food, that's where I want to be. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, not yesterday for folks listening, it was 2 days ago, because this is coming out Monday. On Saturday, I was the barbecue ambassador for Summit Home and Garden Ace Hardware here in my hometown of Lebanon. And I'll tell you what, man, that was crazy. I was talking to you a little bit about it off air. So basically, I met the owners. It was super great guys, Isaac and Nate. And they said, yeah, typically this event has about 300 people show up. We're expecting a little bit more this year because we're doing a grand opening. And so I said, okay, yeah, we'll aim for like 400. The amazing, incredible folks over at H&K Meats in Jefferson, Oregon, they hooked me up with these 4 big, beautiful, pre-trimmed pork butts. They were ready to rub down and throw in the smoker. They were ready to go. And honestly, I thought, okay, we'll use like 1.5 or 2 of these. The Ace owners will get one. I'll keep one. This is incredible. I cannot thank them enough for doing it. And I'll tell you why. We served 700 tacos.
Whoa.
700 tacos.
Shut the front door.
There were almost 1,000 people that showed up to this grand opening, and we were cooking our patooties off. We had to go and get more coleslaw. We had to go and get more tortillas because we were making up street tacos, but pulled pork tacos, right? And we had to go and get extra stuff 2 times. It was just such a blowout, and it was only going for 3 hours. But I'll tell you, I'm so appreciative to H&K. It's a ton of tacos, man. And if H&K Meats,
I saw those on your barbecue. You had them on your barbecue, right?
Oh, yeah. And if H&K Meats hadn't hooked us up with the extra pork, we would have been totally sunk. We would have sold out. We started at 11. We would have been out by noon.
It would have been a riot at the taco booth.
That's right. That's right.
We'd be hearing bad news coming over there from your hometown. We're glad that you stepped up and got those tacos did.
That's right, man. I'll tell you, I did not expect anything like that. Seriously. I've been looking at all the photos because this was part of the Ace Hardware Barbecue Fest. Okay. And I've been looking at the photos from all the different barbecue fests kind of around the country. And I'm seeing one person, two people manning a booth, handing out samples of barbecue. We had 5 people in our booth cranking the entire time. We could not lose anyone. You know what I'm talking about? Like just going. Yeah. There was one person on coleslaw, one person on pulled pork, one person on tortillas, one person handing them out, and one person doing the final assembly. And I'll tell you, it was nuts, but we had a really, really good time. And if you are an Oregon local, I just cannot encourage you enough to check out H&K Meats. They're at HandKmeats.com, HandKmeats.com. They're not a sponsor of the World Food Championships or anything, but after what we went through yesterday, I just have to give them a shout out.
I think you're a pork champ. I think you've stepped up. You are the pork champ category winner. Wait, there isn't one, but you are. There's bacon, but we're going to make you the what's that called? Geez, my brain shut down. The pork, but what is that called, Andy? You got to help me out. I'm an old lady.
What are you talking about, Darie? I'm lost.
Like we're just going to make you the silent winner for the pork. What is that word? I'm just, yeah. You can just cut this part out.
You'll call me the whole hog. How's that?
Okay, whole hog. The whole hog. Good job.
We're not quite done yet because you said you've got 2 more interviews coming out this upcoming week, right?
Yes, I do. I have the last interview that I am doing. Actually, I have one left. It's with Lydia Hadadian. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but she is from the LA area and she's a chicken champ. So yeah, we have her scheduled for Tuesday, and we're actually going to do a combined grand finale show. You're calling in. Patrick and I will be in studio with Sean and a special guest who we're not going to say. And and then of course Lydia, and that will be the wrap up for the final table media blitz. So super stoked about that. Now then I will actually start posting on Foodie Group each episode and its location in podcast form, so that if you missed them, they'll all be together. So be watching for that post if you missed the interviews, and you can go back and listen to all of them when you want to. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Good. They're all going to be out there either through us or through Try This Dish or through Spoonie. They're all going to be out there. And I think you've got the World Food Championship CEO, Mike McLeod, in studio next week, don't you?
Yeah, it's top secret. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, it's top secret. We're not talking about that. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be a really good show.
Although, yeah, we don't really know that it's top secret, but yes.
Well, here's the bottom line. If anybody can tune in live to watch that, of course, I'm not going to be in studio. I'll be on the phone, but they're going to have a packed studio, and it is going to be very worthwhile to watch this happen live.
Oh, yes. It's going to be a special day. And we're going to talk also a little bit about, as we wrap up the final table coverage, we'll talk about going forward with the WFC with Mike McLeod from onwards to October. So tune in and catch this really cool interview with Mike McLeod and Lydia and all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be great.
How have you done being live now? You've kind of moved to a live format. And I think you've always recorded live and just put it out, right? So this isn't too different.
Yeah, it is. I'm on camera. So I'm like going, my sister's like, we have to do something about your dark circles. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I could try sleeping. I know.
Sleep is overrated.
So yeah, it's overrated. Exactly. So yeah, it's a little nerve wracking, but I don't mind it so much because one of my dreams really is to have a cooking show, a TV cooking show. It's always been one of my dreams. So
you have a name for it yet?
Cooking for Love, for all the right reasons in all the right places.
So it'd be a traveling show, or at least world cuisines. I was
always wanting to do a traveling show of some kind, but basically just about cooking. I took the play on that song, looking for love in all the wrong places. We all know that song.
Mm-hmm.
one of my theme songs. You know, it has my name at the bottom when it scrolls through. No, it's no, I was going to call it Cooking for Love in All the Right Places. So yeah, one of my original concepts when I started kind of formulating what I wanted to do after doing the corporate thing or whatever was traveling and teaching people how to cook in their homes. And that's where I came up with the name and the concept. And I started my food blog in 2015, I believe.
You could be like the Texas Simon Majumdar.
Yeah, just travel around and teach people how to cook because it's a lost art. I mean, it really is. It seems like there's a lot of people out there that are foodies, but I know people that still don't know how to cook and they're in their 40s. So I was just thinking, hey, it'd be really cool to go in and cook with new cooks and teach them techniques. Like, you know, like the old-timey TV. Like I always had an idea for a retro food network where it's just back to how to chop an onion, tune in at 10, you know. Here you go. Now at 11, we're moving to carrots. You know, that's kind of how TV used to be, cooking TV anyway. I mean, I enjoyed watching it because it was entertaining. Who can watch like Yan Can Cook and laugh, you know?
Exactly. Can I tell you one thing that I would love to do, although I am in no way an authority on it, so I'd have to have somebody that knows what they're doing come in and do it for me. But I want to do like a live fire cooking class. You know, I've talked to a couple of people. As a matter of fact, I talked to David Molina, the sandwich world champion, about live fire cooking and how it really gives us such a connection to our food, and it gives us a connection to what we're cooking and eating. And that, you want to talk about a lost art, there's something that it feels like more a lost sense of connection with what we're putting into our bodies. You know what I mean? And yeah. I honestly would love to help organize like a live fire cooking class.
Ooh, yeah. And you know what that reminds me of, Andy? Reminds me of the cowboy cooking out over the open fire. What's that called? Listen to me, I'm tired, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah, chuck wagon cooking.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's like people used to, you know, the cook on a chuck wagon, like on a wagon trail, right? He was the most important person. You bet, you know, you were friends with Cookie, right?
Right, Cookie, yeah.
Otherwise, as he was Cookie. And there's a lot of history because I'm from Texas. And so I do have I actually have a history book out there on Texas and farming and cooking. And even me, like I love to go out and grill. Okay, it's a gas grill, y'all. Whatever. I don't have some guy to build me a fire. So, and I'm lazy. So I just turn it on. But,
man,
you know,
if it weren't so expensive to ship it out to you, I would just build you one of those grills that you can set over a campfire.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Yeah, but I don't want to spend $400 getting it shipped to you, Darie.
Darn it. Well, you have to bring it in your truck or something. You know, we're actually thinking about putting an outdoor kitchen out here. We have a deer cleaning area outside for the hunters. Like, not that they actually do any of that anymore. When they come out here, it's too much work. But yeah, we're thinking about putting an outdoor kitchen, which is the same thing, connecting with nature and cooking. And there's just something about it. Like, I love to grill. Well, I love to cook in general, but I've been learning how to cook this chuck roast on the grill, and it's really good. It's delicious. I never knew I could do that until I read about it. I'm
always jealous of those photos that you put up.
I do have some good food photos, don't I? That would be a food-y photo. Thank you very much.
Yes, 100%. People can see some photos. Well, maybe just one photo. I'm terrible about taking photos, but we made some waffles. It was actually our dinner. We had waffles and andouille sausage. For whatever reason, it made a fantastic pair. But we did that for dinner a few nights ago, and I used my cast iron waffle iron, and we cooked it directly over the open fire. And I don't know. I'm in love with it.
That looked really good.
It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can't wait to do it again, honestly. And you know what else? Goodness. You know what else I can't wait to do? I can't wait to talk to you again. We are out of time, so I'm going to have to cut you loose. One more time, Foodie Group, Try This Dish Radio. You can hear them on Spoonie Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central. What is that? 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go and check them out.
Live. Yeah, Facebook Live. And then also reruns on Sunday and Monday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, too.
And then that final table, man, May 18th and 19th, final table.
So yeah, you guys check us out. Check out the World Food Championships, worldfoodchampionships.com, and be there, be square.
And if I don't see you before, we will see you at the World Food Championships 2019, Darie.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, you take care.
All right.
There she goes, and there you guys go. That is our wrap-up episode of this incredible time that we've had talking to different World Food Champions. It's been a great time. I really encourage you to go and listen to the previous episodes if you haven't already. It really was an incredible conversation, and I cannot wait to see the results from the final table. It's going to be a really good time, and I'm very jealous of the people that are able to go and watch it, and more importantly, taste the dishes that these incredible chefs and home cooks are able to come up with. I want to thank Darie for coming on in the second half. I want to thank Oliver for being on the first half. Very excited to see how Oliver does the final table, and very jealous that Darie gets to go and check it out. But she will be continuing to give you coverage of that over at Try This Dish Radio. So go and check them out when you can. It's going to be all over the Spoonie Radio Network. So make sure that you go to Facebook and like the Spoonie Radio page. And while you're there, don't forget to hit us up. Pardon My Fork is where you're going to find all of the content that we've talked about today at Pardon My Fork on Facebook, pardonmyfork.com. We've got lots more episodes up there, lots of episodes going way back past the beginning of the year. We've had so much fun doing this show and can't wait to continue it on in the future. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend. For Darie and Oliver, this is Andy, and we will see you next time.